Welcome to the Big Four Accounting Firms podcast, brought to you by www.thebigfouraccountingfirms.com. Today we are going to discuss another huge client that PwC lost. That client is Glaxosmithkline. Glaxosmithkline, which is one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, announced that they are changing auditors from PwC to Deloitte. Glaxosmithkline, also known as GSK, creates, develops and manufactures pharmaceuticals such as vaccines and over-the-counter medicines. They are headquartered in London, UK. Their market capitalization is about $92 billion according to Yahoo Finance, which makes them one of the largest companies in the world. GSK announced this decision through a 6K SEC filing. The 6K states that their intention is to appoint Deloitte as their auditor beginning with the financial year ending December 31, 2018. This gives PwC 2 more years of audits. That's only 2 more years of huge fees. Keep listening to learn how large the fees for this audit were. GSK said this decision was made after a competitive bidding process. The decision was made by GSK's Executive Steering Committee. The statement says that PwC was the auditor of GSK since 2001. Why did GSK change auditors from PwC to Deloitte? The UK and EU have regulations that went into effect this summer demanding public companies put their audits up for tender. This basically means that there is mandatory audit rotation in Europe. The purpose of this rotation is to increase auditor independence. An auditor won't waste time getting cozy with a client if they know they will lose them due to regulatory requirements. A professional relationship will be maintained. What does this mean for PwC and the Big Four? This is a huge loss for PwC and a huge win for Deloitte. GSK was the 6th largest audit fee in the FTSE 100. The Glaxosmithkline audit amounted to £33.2 million. That equates to about $41 million US. PwC has also lost some other significant audits this year in Europe. They lost Legal & General to KPMG earlier this year. Legal & General was also part of the FTSE 100. Their audit was worth £7.2 million. That is equivalent to $9 million. PwC also lost the Schroders audit earlier this year. That audit was worth £4.9 million. That is equivalent to about $6 million. You add up all those lost audits, and you are looking at almost $60 million in lost revenue coming up for PwC. If you read our PwC revenue article, you'd know that PwC did not have a great 2016. Deloitte passed them as the #1 accounting firm in the world. If PwC keeps losing audits in the UK and the EU, they are in for another bad year. Now you might be thinking this looks terrible for PwC. You are right, but you also have to remember that there will be mandatory audit tenders for Deloitte, KPMG and AE as well. This means that PwC will pick up some of the other Big Four accounting firm audits. Make sure to subscribe to this podcast to stay up to date on Big Four auditor changes. Thanks for listening. Make sure to visit www.thebigfouraccountingfirms.com for more details on this story. If you like what you hear and want to hear more, make sure to write a review on iTunes.